this evening. Welcome to the link in 2023. All the forecasts are showing a little bit of bleakness, but at an enterprise level, you have an opportunity to still grow, even a little bit, at least raise your capacity. And in the studio tonight, we have the right people for it. Let me say person. My guest tonight is Mr. Ronald Ahembesiwe, Principal Certification Officer and Head of SME Desk at the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Ronald, welcome.
Thank you very much.
SMEs have been a big deal. You know, the government has realized that, put an SME division in the Ministry of Trade, and now Unbs is focused on these people. And one of the big problems we have there is certification by process and by capacity of these people. And I know that you have put your heart to helping these people. First of all, tell us, what are some of the things you are doing or that are in play to help an SME certify?
Thank you very much, Sam. Now, at Unbs, this particular desk looks at the SME from zero and tries to bring that SME up to where the product actually meets the standards and goes to the market, actually to export. But in between there are a number of things we do. The first thing we do is that we do training. This training can be off-site, away from your production area, or it can be on-site. We come and show you, do this, they do it this way, they do that. Or we're going to train many people from somewhere and then bring you to one specific area as an example, and then we demonstrate how to do things better. Now, once we do that, and there are enterprises which come on board, we mentor them from that stage, one by one, to ensure that the product which they will produce will be in agreement or meeting the standard requirements.
Absolutely.
So from that zero level to where the product is accepted on the market. Now, after we have done this, we now push you to another level of certification. Of course, it involves a lot of things. Like you have to document your processes. Certification is about tell me what you do, then show me. So you are doing all that, you need to document it.
Give me an example. People are saying, what is Ronald saying? Give me an example, for instance.
I will give an example when you are making a product like, common one I will talk of, juice. Maybe juice or maize flour or whatever. When you source your raw materials, for example, you have bought your fruits, you need to first inspect them. See whether they have insect infestation, whether they are rotten and all that. You need a document. So that when you are not there, someone who will be doing it actually does exactly the same. So this document lists the things you must do? Yes, which we call acceptance criteria for the raw materials. Then you have accepted them, you now have to have how to store them. Not on the ground, not anywhere, but somehow where it is spacious enough, there is aeration, they do not actually go bad when they're in the stores. I get it. Then from there, the stores they have to be clean and so on. And then you say, now we are going to produce. You get them from the stores. You again check them. And then either you wash them, you clean, and then go for production. Now, all that you need to document and say, yes, at least when I do this, I find something is not in agreement with what I want, I put it aside. And so on until the product actually gets out. Now, when you are not there as a process owner, the people who will be there, the owners now on your behalf, will follow the same. Now it's about attitude changing from just handling the way you are handling. No shortcuts, to a systematic way of producing a complying product. And then we continue visiting you. We work with you actually to ensure that you get there. But of course, quite often we are challenged with resources, logistics. Logistics to reach there. It becomes really a challenge because there are so many SMEs across this country, and as Unbs we are limited. But for those who have managed to go through the process, they can testify that yes, first of all, certification out there, they say it is so hard, it is something and done it can't very. But they will tell you it is something easy, but systematic to get what you want. So to begin with, you need to know the standard required for hygiene, for the product, for labeling.
What does it take for me to to go through that process, now me on my side as an SME, because UNBS comes to me.
Yes.
So what do you require of me to work with you through all that?
To begin with, we just require your cooperation.
Commitment.
Cooperate. Think of UNBS as a partner in development, in getting your dream met. And think of it that way, and then learn.
Okay.
Accept to learn. You know, we have a tendency that, for me, I've been doing this thing from the time I was born. I know it better. But you see, we are targeting international market, the international practices, their regional practices, their national practices. So we are inculcating those ones within the SMEs, so that we change the other attitude of I know it all, to ensure that our product is able to go to the market and then proceed and meet the export requirement. Yes, yes.
All right. Now, Ronald, we have talked about process. There's this animal called cost, which makes SMEs say, "Ha, what are you doing in that area?"
Yes, the cost of compliance is not cheap, because you have to put in something.
Absolutely.
But at UNBS, there is cost sharing. Actually, if you go to all other laboratories, for example, for testing these products, UNBS the test fees is to the minimum.
Okay.
The reason for that is that UNBS says, no, we know we have SMEs out there. Can we cost share with the little resources we have? We at least test some parameters for these SMEs, and then they also pay for the others. And overall, you pay for only the consumables, only what is going to be used. You are not paying for the salary of the worker, you are not paying for the machinery, not for the house and everything, but just those chemicals you use to test. They are the ones you pay for testing. And then on the SME side, for certification, getting that permit, initially it was 1 million, 1.2 million, but it has been reduced to 500 for the SMEs. The reason for that is that the cost of running the entire production is too much. And for SMEs, they are still struggling.
I know.
So we requested Parliament, we proposed, and they reduced it to 500,000. And that includes audit fees twice. That's at the beginning and after 6 months after being given the certification. And also it includes using the Q mark or the quality mark on your product for the full year. So you can see this has been really very helpful. And based on what was happening previously, it has indicated that there is a very big push to SMEs. However, there are still those whose capital is still very minimum.
That's true.
So you find that even what you want to charge here for the full year of doing all these things is much more than the capital. And you see, this person needs to be helped. And quite often than not, our leadership has requested support from different parties, including government, partners, even private sector. And of late, we have had support from Private Sector Foundation. It actually sourced for funding from MasterCard, and it says, UNBS, you have been crying, now let us see what you can do. And with that little money that was given to UNBS, we have seen a number of SMEs supported and actually got certification. Yes, and the process is still going on, but of course the funding is limited. And the SMEs are so many out there. In fact, if it could be a government decision to say let us support, because once SMEs are supported, their products comply with the requirements. They reach the market and they have the market. Then they are exported. Absolutely would have the economic development.
Is doing very well. On the lower end, Ronald, if I am falling in that category where it's a struggle for me, and is this funding, is it finished? If it is still there, how do I qualify? I'm sure you might have a sieving process. Is there something like that?
Yes. The qualification to be supported by that fund is that, one, you must show the commitment and the concern that you need certification. So we have, our application is online. And we have those clients who have been applying and they actually fail on the way because they don't have the money, maybe to test the product, maybe to pay for a certain requirement. So we first look at that.
They have shown interest.
Yes, if you are not in the system, then we don't know that you actually exist out there. So we have to first know. Then we start from there.
So you have to come into the system first.
Yes, that is number one. Then, of course, coming to the system, you may have dropped out, you have to go ahead and show the concern. You have to request that, please, if there is anything, please help. You have by writing to the accounting officer of the institution.
Okay.
And then if there is money, if there is any support, he will advise accordingly.
Okay.
And then from there, we go to see, is this enterprise legal operating? Is it registered with your SB? Does it have the other requirements? Does it have a TIN number? Does it have, you know? So that is our thieving mechanism. And then if you have these and you have shown interest, then we go ahead and put you on the supporting list. And there, we actually do everything.
Okay.
You know, we technically support you, guide you, and then we go ahead pick samples for lab analysis, even to go ahead and carry out the audits, and then you are offered the mark if you qualify. Okay,
I love the fact that you have to be registered. In 1 minute, Ronald, we're running out of time. What is the biggest hurdle, apart from mindset, that your phone SMEs need to work on to become certified?
The biggest hurdle has been financing for the SMEs. They are much willing, yearning for this, because they have seen the impact. The impact out there that if the product has a true mark, it automatically sells. But if it does not have, everyone questions it. Now, that funding aspect on the SME part to acquire certification is the biggest hurdle. Yes, because the attitude is properly coming up. They have bought the idea, they have embraced certification, but they find hardships in getting the resources to get them done. Okay. Yes. Well, our time is running out, Ronald. Thank you so much. Viewers, UNBS wants to help you. The money is an issue, but help will keep coming. But you have heard. You must demonstrate interest first. Your business must be registered also. There are all those basics which demonstrate that you're a serious person. So demonstrate first that you're serious. Reach out for certification. If there's help, you will get it. Yes. And at the end of the day, you are going to be the winner. That was the link. Thank you for joining us tonight.